Yo, what up guys, Travic here, and today I want to talk expedition. Lately I've been asking you guys if you have any cool ideas or cool tips, and I'm always open to listen to what you guys have to say. So the other day I'm hanging out in Discord and my buddy Mendo goes, "Hey yo Trav," and I was like, "Hey yo Mendo, what up bro?" And he goes, "Listen, I got something for you." I said, "What do you got?" And I got Mendo going, "Look, we're gonna go and do a map, don't ask any questions, just watch what happens." And I say, "Okay, not a problem." So he takes me into a map. My buddy Skadoosh is there. He's doing the same thing, and he just walks into a map and says absolutely nothing. I say, "Mendo, what are we doing? What's the plan here? What's going on?" And he goes, "Trav, just listen. Listen, this is not a talking moment. There's no yapping. You just watch." So I say, "Okay." So me and Mendo, we go into this map. We walk into Atoll. Beginning of the map, there's some mobs. Mendo clears out the mobs. He gives them the old slap-a-wappa ding-ding-dongs. And he says, "All right, Trav, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do expedition together." I say, "I know expedition. I understand expedition." He goes, "You don't keep up with what's going on. Let me show you expedition." I say, "Okay." He goes, "Take the explosive. I'm going to plant the explosive and we're going to do big bomb." I say, "I know big bomb. I understand big bomb. You put it in the area, it blows up, you get all the loot." He goes, "Let me show you big bomb." And he goes and he presses the detonator and he goes, "That's big bomb." I said, "Mendo, what the hell just happened?" He goes, "Oh, you got to kill abyss mobs." I said, "Mendo, run this one by me again." He goes, "I got a little bit of abyss on my idols. You gotta kill abyss mobs." So he blows everything up. He runs all around and he collects his loot and he says, "What do you think?" And I was like, "I don't know what the hell I just watched, but what happened?" And he goes, "Well, it's really simple. You set a bomb off in a cemetery and everything died." And I was like, "That's not what I asked." I said, "What happened?" So he goes, "Let's go run it back and do it again. Maybe it was an error." I say, "Okay." I say, "Mendo, lead the way." We open up another atoll map. We walk into the map again together. He goes, "Look, we're just going to clear out the mobs around the expedition. We don't want any problems, any headaches, anything." I say, "Okay, not a problem." He walks up to the expedition. He makes sure that it's a good one. We ain't got no time for no rog. He places down another bomb. He presses the button, and then just like that, he collects all of his loot. So I asked him, I said, what the heck is, what is this? What's going on?" And he informed me that there was an expedition strat that's been going around for a little while now. A bunch of different streamers have done it. A bunch of different YouTubers have done it. And he just, for something to do, decided to pick it up and start running it. And essentially it is the easiest, it is the absolute, I'm doing it now and I'm at a loss for words for just how easy what it is I'm watching. You go into a map, you set a bomb and it explodes. Pretty much what happens is we have a very basic idle setup to just go in and explode all of the expedition mobs without having any fear. They come out of the ground, they're immediately dead, and all you get to do is click a bunch of chests. Now, it is not the most exciting gameplay. It is not the most thrilling, joyous, adventurous gameplay, but it is simple. It is easy. It is an avenue for a lot of players without good builds or currency to make pretty much to make a little bit without going too crazy. Now, when I started doing this at first, I was like, this is no shot. This is going to keep me entertained. This has been, this has got to get boring, right? This has got to get boring. There's no way this keeps me entertained. And I find myself extremely addicted to what happens going on. And I've only done a handful of maps. And in my handful of maps, I've done 19 plus I refilled Scarabs, so 20, 21, 22. So I've done 22 maps of this so far since I got my hands on the idols. And in 22 maps, I've gotten 83 Tujen reroll tokens, 33 Astragalis, 62 scrap metals, 39 burial medallions, and all of these logbooks, and just random other stuff, whether it be like shizzles, alks, chaos. My buddy Mendo showed me screenshots of him getting multiple divines. My buddy Skadoosh showed me screenshots of him getting multiple divines. And it's just like all kinds of really good stuff that Expedition can give you. Now, the way this works is it's very, very, very simple. And these are all technically one modded idols. You are essentially looking for a handful of items or a handful of idols that have expedition monsters in your map spawn with an additional 10% of missing life. So in the setup that Mendo told me to pick up, very basic, very cheap, very beginner, we grab a bunch of these 10% life totemic idols, which are about 30 to 50 C each, depending at the time of recording, and we just get a bunch of 10%ers. So we have 10% missing life here. We have 10% missing life here. That's 20, 10% missing life here, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then we have the unique run here that brings us to 95. So all of the mobs in our expedition are spawning missing 95% of their life total, and it essentially just means that they fall over and die. Now, the other really cool thing is we don't have to worry about expedition chance because your blue idols can roll with expedition chance. And if you get blue idols or just regular idols, these are about a divine each. If you don't want to do this, you could just use a scarab and put a scarab in place of it. But we do have two large 3x1 idols, both giving us expedition chance to give us that nice 100%. The other mods on your idols, you really don't care what they are. Ideally, you would like some good suffixes or some good prefixes, things that lead you to Tujen or Dannig, but you could really pretty much just get in on the absolute cheap and just kind of get started. Our small idols are very simple and very straightforward. They give us explosive radius in our maps, and they're giving us more chance at logbooks. And that's just really it. We're going for increased chance of logbooks and more explosive radius. Now, these at the time of recording, I don't believe these are expensive at all. If we look at just the explosive radius node here and we untick these, the explosive radius node's about a chaos. Hopefully if somebody answers, so you'll probably end up spending about 10 C for these to get somebody answer. And the two mods together about 20, 30 C each, and just more logbook chances, just another 5 C. Ideally, all of your small ones will have increased explosive radius. This is what allows you to plant the bomb and hit the whole screen. If I didn't have these, my explosion, my little centralized big blast would be very small and wouldn't get the whole screen. Now, when we run our maps, we're going to be doing them very simple. I asked a bunch of people. Some people say you want to alch and chisel your maps. Some people say you want to just run the maps and go. So I've been doing a little testing here and there, and I've just been pretty much chiseling all of my maps, throwing an alchemy orb on them and running into them. Very simple, very straightforward, no hassle, no nothing. We're not even using the whole 5 scarab slots. You will use the 5 scarab slots if you choose to get these idols that don't have the expedition encounter on them because they're a little bit out of price range. This overall starting strategy, very, very, very cheap. Even the scarabs themselves are very cheap. We are going to be using a expedition scarab of archaeology. This way that we have 2 additional suffixes on prefixes on all of our remnants. Since we blow up everything and we kill everything, we might as well juice them all the way up. We're going to be using expedition encounters in an area, have 20% increased number of explosives and 80% increased explosive range. This paired with all these small idols is what gives us that really nice oomph to blow up the whole map. And we're going to be using 2 expedition scarabs of Runefinding. These are giving us 100% increased number of runic markers on our map. So with 2 of them, we have 200%, and all of our maps are just chiseled and alked, and that's really it. You know, you could pick up a bunch of maps for relatively cheap. I picked up 60 ATOLs for 2 divs earlier. A bunch of my friends are doing like map farming, and you can just pretty much use any map that's the cheapest. The reason I picked personally ATOL is it's very rare that the expedition doesn't spawn in the beginning here. Usually when you run ATOL, it is right there in the beginning. Jungle Valley is really good. Dunes is really good. Pretty much you can take any map that your heart's content. Originally, when I purchased ATOL, I was just like, ATOL is going to be right in the beginning. I'm not going to have to worry. It's going to be super duper simple for me to just go in and blow everything up and get in and get out. And the problem, the big problem with doing this map is the tier 17 map is not the best. But I mean, like, that's fine. We're okay with that. It doesn't really matter because all of the maps and like everything is just simple. Like everything is simple. The only thing I have to kill is because Mendo's idols have a little bit of beyond chance on them, but I mean, like, it's not the end of the world. You get beyond currency. Beyond currency is really good. The other upside to this strategy is both Eater and Exarch invitations are very, 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 very expensive because people are hunting those elusive forbidden flames and fleshes. So that makes it really convenient to just run into these maps, blow them up, kill a couple of mobs, spawn influence, and loot the entire map and be upon your way. Every 24th map, though, you will need to kill the map boss. So on the 24th map, just to make life a little bit easier, you can run just like regular white tiered maps, go in, blow it up, and leave. Now you see doing these right now in front of you, very simple, very straightforward. There's not a whole lot of thinking involved. You know, this is just going to be like the strategy that you can just like put a movie on to blow up some expeditions, get some currency, and feel really good about yourself. The really big upside to this is a couple of things now. We get a lot of random small currencies. You see, I get divines, I get a bunch of chaos, I'm getting a whole bunch of logbooks, and we get to do a lot of really fun stuff. Now in the 25-ish maps that I've run, I've showed you I've gotten a whole bunch of currencies and we have a whole bunch of logbooks. Logbooks in themselves are relatively fun to run, and they do have a value on them, some 5C, some 10C, depending on how they are, what their layout is, are they corrupted, what's on them. And there is a market for logbooks. You can indeed sell your logbooks in bulk and make a pretty penny, but logbooks are common, so they don't have the value that they once had. Logbooks are going to be those things that when you run out of these small currencies, which you probably never will because of how easy it is to maintain them, logbooks would be the thing that you would do to get a little bit more of them, or to get a little bit more reroll tokens without having to go into maps. It also lets you spice them up. Now, your logbooks also have the opportunity on them, if you're lucky, to tell you that a boss, that like right here, that contains a boss. So this would be a logbook that I would consider going to run. The bosses are a lot of fun. They give you a lot of reroll currency. I could split this logbook using it, using beast, and have 2 attempts at the boss. And these are just really good things to do, and it's just relatively enjoyable. Now, the big reason why we're farming Expedition: 1, it is very simple, straightforward, and to the point, and 2, because we have access to so many reroll currencies and so much stuff, we're able to take really big advantage of things like Tujen. Now, Tujen will allow us, hello cat, okay, no, you don't want to. Tujen will allow us to do things like pick up free currencies. And at this stage of the league, you're really looking for very small things, very interesting things, things that you would need for your character, especially in SSF, like you would want a lot of things. But for me personally, I'm really only looking for very small things. I would like chaos, I would like divines, I would like mirror shards, I would like GCPs, I would like scarabs. And then that's really about it. And it's just a bunch of free extra currency that you don't need to worry about, that you just get to reroll for. Also, you will find a lot of divines doing this. Talking to Tujen, you will find a lot of scarabs. All of it will show up in abundance. The only pain in the butt part is having to literally roll and look for it, and then scroll down your mouse wheel a little bit to make the trade. The easiest way that I've seen from doing this to make the trade and to not really worry about it is when you find something that you want to like, or something that you're thinking about buying, click on it, scroll down your mouse wheel once or twice, get to a nice little spot where he says either yes or no, and you scroll down just a little bit like this, you pick up what you want, and you don't really have to worry about all the hustle, the bustle, the haggling, the so forth and so on. You could just literally roll and keep going. You will get a lot of currencies, you will get a lot of reroll currencies, you will just get a lot of absolutely everything. And if you ever really run out of the currencies and you don't want to run logbooks to pick them up, or you're not really feeling it and you just kind of want to like do a little bit something else, you're able to go over to Dannig, wherever I actually managed to put him. I have no idea where he is. He's up here. You can go over to Dannig and exchange items with Dannig, and Dannig will allow you to buy the currencies that you're missing. So these currencies are ROG, these currencies are Tujen, and we get to just buy them and then just chain reroll and have what we're looking for. Now, if I do manage to roll out of, Tujen reroll currencies, or if I do manage to roll out of currencies to like exchange, we can easily just use Dannig here and just buy, sell, trade, and do what we need to do. The other upside to this strategy is a lot of people really like Expedition, a lot of people really like Tujen, and these have value. These have a lot of value. These can be sold in bulk, these can be sold for chaos, and you get a pretty penny for selling your exotic coins. You can get a pretty penny for selling pretty much all of your currency. All you need to do is spend the time to list it and just get rid of it. Usually people will list them on trade. I don't know if you're going to get a whole lot of gold doing this, so the exchange might be like out of reach depending on how much, but you can see right now these reroll tokens are just 1 to 4. Like, it'd be so easy to flip these things for chaos and have a little bit of extra chaos. I can even list 42 of them for divine right now and just be, or like 43 of them, list them for divine, they'll sell, and I'll be on my way with just extra divines. This strategy, like I said, is great simply due to the fact that it's so cheap, so easy. Anybody can really do it. The initial investment cost is not too crazy high, and you really don't need a character that can do like high-end crazy content. You just need to be able to walk into a map, survive long enough to get to the expedition, and press the blowy uppy button to explode everything and not have to worry. Yes, depending on your idols, if you get some weird stuff like beasts, or if you get some stuff like beyond, you'll have to deal with that, but that's just part of the game. And I'm assuming that if you're able to get to the part where you're able to buy idols, white tier, you know, out tier maps with a little bit of beyond won't be too scary. And then you just get to come in, click on some mobs, and nothing really should give you a hard time. I've done 20 something maps. I have yet to see a rare from the expedition survive. Mendo said he did about 40-50 maps before he saw a rare survive. My buddy Skadoosh said he did about 40-50 maps before he saw a rare survive. And it's just one of those things that, like, if the mob is strong enough with the right combinations, he'll spawn within culling range. This is what they were telling me. And it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And it should happen so infrequently that it won't be a problem. Now, the only thing that I think of that I would like to do better with my idols is I personally would like to get my idols to guarantee that I only get Tujen at this stage in the league. I can't really see myself interacting with Rog. I mean, Gwennen's pretty cool, but she's nowhere near as strong as she used to be. So, like, I also really don't want to interact with Gwennen. But seeing myself interact with, you know, Tujen, Dannig is just going to make it very nice. Now, if you try this farm and it works out great for you, please let me know in the comments down below. If there's another farm or something interesting you guys want me to check out or try before the end of this event in April, please, by all means, let me know. I'm always open to hear what you guys have to say, and any cool strategies or any cool builds, please send them my way. I would love to see them. But for now, friends, I just want to say thank you to Mendo for showing me this. Thank you to my buddy Skadoosh for letting me get a little sneak peek at the, you know, things that I've missed while I'm on my own charades. But for now, friends, I'm going to get this video out to you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.